Yo, what is up everybody? Today we're learning how to install Windows apps natively on Linux, on any Linux. It doesn't matter if you're on Mint, Fedora, Ubuntu, Arch, CachyOS, Bazzite, you name it, we can do it. If you miss Windows or at least the Windows apps like Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, maybe even Paint, I don't know. So you've come to the right place, and today, you know what, just kick back, relax. We have a fantastic app called WinPodX. We're going to set it up, and this is going to show you how to install everything on Linux natively. We're not using Wine. This is not running through any translation layer or emulation. This is just pure native performance on Linux. So without wasting further time, let's dive right in. So welcome back to WinPodX. This is the website, and they made it pretty well. You can go to winpodx.org, check it out for yourself. Now, before I proceed, I do have to say this is in beta. This is the 0.59 version, so you're going to have to be careful about that, right? But even then, even if it is in a beta, I think everything is working pretty well, and this is a basically one-click install. It shows you this beautiful photo showing you, I don't know, Windows 11 running. This is the About page. This is Task Manager. If you've ever used Windows in your life, you pretty much know what all these are. So yeah, no point in wasting too much time in here. The web page is really beautiful, and the way they set it up, it's literally a one command. Right now, I might run into some issues because this is a beta after all. So we're gonna debug all of the steps together. Now, what is WinPodX? Basically, it runs a Windows container, so a lightweight, debloated Windows install in a Docker container. It uses RDP, so it uses the Remote Desktop protocol to stream the apps onto your Linux desktop, and these apps will appear just like native Linux apps. Like, they will come in your menu, you can pin them on the taskbar, and they do feature things like full USB pass-through. So this is pretty good. And over here, they do mention the benefits, and we're not running this through Wine, by the way. Wine, as we all know, has excellent compatibility, Wine or Proton, for games, but when it comes to apps, it really doesn't have. Now, one big downside for today's WinPodX is that it does not support GPU pass-through. It does support USB pass-through, so you can transfer your files, and it will behave like a native Linux app, but you cannot do something like video editing, which needs a GPU, but you can edit your Word file, crunch through your Excel numbers, do PowerPoint presentations, and those things will be absolutely seamless. And like they say, seamless app windows, reverse open, so Linux apps appear in the Windows open with menu as well, which is excellent. Zero configuration launch, lean and private, those are true. They do not have any sort of telemetry. That's excellent. And basically it works across all of the major Linux families from openSUSE, Fedora, Debian, Ubuntu, and you can even download an app image which will work across everything. So today we're going to install this, and it's going to be very fun. But before that, you have to know that you have to enable the virtualization in your BIOS on your laptop or on your computer. Now, this varies because you have different brands of computers. So Google the brand and learn how to enable virtualization from your BIOS if you haven't had enabled it already. So with that being said, we're going to proceed to install this. Now click on Get Started, or you can copy this from the previous page as well. This is the curl command. It's basically a one-shot setup, or if you wanted to install it via the package manager, you have different options depending on your distribution of choice. Now, I do recommend installing it through the terminal because that's the easiest thing to do. Now let's open up terminal. Let's put this over to the right, put this over to the left, and then we're gonna paste it and hit enter. Now, once we hit enter, it's going to connect to the GitHub repository. So this is the GitHub repository. So it's going to connect to that. And by the way, if you didn't have Git installed, you will need to install Git as well. So let's just show you how to do that. Open up a new window, sudo apt install Git. Now, if you're on Fedora, replace apt with DNF. If you're on Arch, do whatever Arch suggests, right? So you have to install Git onto your computer, and only then will it be able to connect to Git and then provide you with the other steps. So right now it says WinPodX's recommended stack needs to be installed. So if you want to do that, you can press R. If you want the automatic, so reuse what's already installed. Since we're doing a fresh installation, I will always recommend you to go ahead with the recommended stack. So we're going to press R and then hit enter. Now it says all the dependencies are installed. If you didn't have Python 3 or other things, it will go ahead and install that. And as for virtual environment, it is having FreeRDP. Virtualization is enabled. So as you can see, KVM, we do have virtualization enabled on this laptop as well. So that's pretty good. And it's cloning from the GitHub repository. It's installing WinPodX into the virtual environments. If you are familiar with Python, you know what a virtual environment is. It basically is like a small container with a lid where you can put things, where you can put dependencies, and they will not spill out onto your main computer. So let's just say if you want to run an experiment, it's basically like an aquarium, right? You want to install a plant inside the aquarium. That plant is not going to grow out of the aquarium onto your house. Right now, what it's doing is it actually says the setup complete for Podman. This is the IP address, so you can actually go ahead and open it up in your web browser and check if the Windows ISO has been downloaded. So what it's doing right now is it's downloading a 7.5 gigabyte ISO. And yes, Windows 11 can be very light if it is debloated. It's downloading it straight from the Microsoft servers. It's going to take a little bit of time. Let's go ahead and let's say, so this is the IP address that you're going to want to enter. And it says downloading Windows 11. Give it some time. It will download Windows 11 from the Microsoft servers. Sit back and relax and grab a cup of coffee or a drink, and or you know what, get some work done. Just leave it as it is. Just make sure that you don't have the computer set to sleep. So change the power settings so that it doesn't sleep in between downloading Windows 11, because depending on your internet, it's going to take a little bit of time. So I'm going to see you guys after this is downloaded. And finally, we're inside Windows 11. Should I be happy to see Windows 11? I don't know, man, but I'm happy at least I got Windows to run. It took a lot of time. And this is the IP address that you go to view the full Windows desktop. And over to the left, you have a tiny arrow which signifies more settings from the VNC. So you have extra keys. You can check the clipboard. You can even full screen this. And now if you just minimize this, let's just go ahead and do that. It's hard to tell that it's not actually Windows. And I did go ahead and install Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, and it's all running from my account. So I have full access to all of my documents that I stored in OneDrive. We're going to get to that just a little bit later. You also have settings, so quality and compression level. So basically this is like Remote Desktop, right? It's not like Remote Desktop, it is Remote Desktop. So basically it's like streaming a YouTube video. Even though everything is running on the same computer, you're basically getting a video stream of Windows inside this application. So it behaves with a little delay. As you can see, it's not that smooth, but it's definitely workable, and it far beats not having that app, which you were really dying to use after leaving Windows. So we're going to go ahead and close this, right? Not necessary. Let's open up a terminal. I have a lot of terminal over here. Let's go with this. And by the way, if you type WinPodX and then -- help, you will get the complete list of all of the things, all of the commands that you can run to manage your Windows applications, manage the Windows pod, manage configurations. These are very advanced, so only touch these if you want to, and if you know what you're getting into. So what we're going to do is actually try to launch the WinPod app list. So the WinPodX app list, this command gives us all of the apps that are installed inside the Windows virtual container that we have, and we can launch these from our terminal. Now, either you can launch these from the terminal by saying WinPodX app run and then the name of the app. So for example, Xbox. So you press this command and it would open the app up. Or you could do another thing. You could run the WinPodX GUI. So WinPodX GUI. You type this, you hit enter, and the WinPodX GUI pops up. So this gives you all the apps in a very, very clean format. So if I just minimize this, there is no jank. There is no jank, and it all looks pretty good. Drive optimization, Windows, Microsoft Edge, Excel, then Microsoft Office, sticky notes, healthcare, paint, everything is here. How cool is that? You even get Microsoft Windows camera. Probably that's not going to work, but anyway, I'm not going to test that. You have everything inside here. And by the way, the first time when I tried to launch WinPodX GUI, it didn't. So what you're going to have to do is open a new terminal window. Let's just clear all the clutter, and you're going to type sudo, then apt install lib xcb -cursor 0. So hit enter. It's going to ask you for your password. If you're on Fedora, use sudo dnf. If you're on Arch, do it the Arch way. Basically, this was a missing library which was not installed by the application WinPodX itself. So I had to do it, and only then would I get to launch this WinPodX. And now from here, the moment you all been waiting for, this is Microsoft Word. Let's just go ahead and launch it, and it's going to look like a native a native Linux app. It says Microsoft Word launched, and as you can see, it was super fast. Microsoft Word is here. How cool is that? And I even have my my college documents. You can see group 1 final year project. That was something that was back from 2021 when I graduated, kind of giving away my age over here. But this is a blank document. It looks a little small, but this is what it is. This is Word. We are running Word. Hello, everybody. Man, I can't see. It's so small. Everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Yeah, that's excellent. And you know what? I'm already logged in with my Microsoft account, so I can save things into Microsoft OneDrive. So you don't even have to worry about losing all of this, because this is a beta, and a beta is a beta. At the end of the day, it's going there. It's going to get a stable release soon, hopefully. But today it's a beta, and a beta should be treated as such. Work on your documents, do everything you want, but take regular backups and save everything. Save everything to OneDrive. You turn on autosave from here, and you save to OneDrive. And this is only for Microsoft Word, because that was the main point of the video, but you could run anything that you like. So we're not gonna save this. Obviously, I don't need to save this. This is just for the video. And from here, you could run literally everything. So let's just go ahead, launch Paint. Why not Paint? It says launching mspaint.exe, and there you go. You do have Paint. Wow. Hello. Man, I feel like a kid going to an internet cafe and learning to use Paint for the first time when I was just a little kid. Sorry, I'm just way too excited and way too tired at the same time. So my Microsoft account systems are available globally inside this virtual container. So whatever I do, it's going to be saved to the cloud. I keep notes. I do Excel, Word, doesn't matter. So that's a plus point for me. That's pretty good. We can also check Notepad. Notepad's pretty good as well. Let's launch Notepad. And we do have other apps, OneDrive, Outlook, remote desktop connection. This is Notepad. Pretty good. We are able to run all the apps, and they look native, right? The only difference is you get a tiny rectangle up at the top, which is ignorable for the most part. And the cursor changes. The cursor changes quite a lot. It becomes a Windows cursor from a Linux cursor, or from whatever Advaita or libadwaita cursor it uses, Linux Mint uses. So yeah, that's that. This is, by the way, applicable to any Linux distro, and you're not limited to Linux Mint or Fedora or whatever. Okay, so now for a story time. This was not that smooth. This was not as smooth as I make it out to be in the video, and a lot of things happened, and I have been at this desk from 4:30 p.m. and it's currently 22:20. So I did spend a lot of time troubleshooting different things. You have missing libraries that you have to install. You got to learn the commands for the first time. And once you learn the commands, once you launch an app from here, basically if you install something through the Windows virtual desktop and you refresh the apps should launch over here, and then you hit the start menu on your Linux Mint and GNOME and Fedora, whatever. and it should come up over here. So if I say Word, it not only gives me LibreOffice Writer, which was the default word processor, it also now gives me Word. I launched Excel too. Let's check for Excel. Excel is here as well. That's pretty good. What about qBittorrent? qBittorrent is here, and that is from a previous Windows installation. So what happened? Basically, I managed to damage my entire Windows installation, and a lot of things happened. A lot of terminal tomfoolery. I had to navigate a lot of things in here, a lot of ChatGPT as well. Not afraid to admit that. What happened is basically I downloaded Microsoft Office 2016 because I wasn't sure that the license that I had received when buying my Windows laptop for MS Office would be applicable, or that I would be able to log in on another computer or another version. Because what happens sometimes is the access that you receive for Microsoft Office, for me, it's basically lifetime free Microsoft Office, but that is often tied to one computer, right? At least that's the common knowledge that I received from the internet. What I didn't know is that I could download Microsoft Office normally and just log in and it would work. I didn't know that, so I tried to download it some other way. And that was Office 2016. It installed partially, that was just for the demo. It installed halfway through and it crashed. I did it again, it crashed again. So what happened after that is suddenly I received an error saying it was basically a blue screen of death for Windows, and I couldn't get my Windows installation to be repaired. And that was a nightmare. That was a nightmare. I had to do a lot of things. So I had to do WinPodX pod recreate wipe storage. I had to wipe the entire storage. Okay, I had to wipe everything, all the Windows installations, all this hard work that I had done for the video, everything got wiped, and I had to recreate the partition. This single command does everything on its own. It even installs the new Windows 11 ISO. It downloads it from Microsoft servers and installs it onto your computer. Again, the main problem with downloading an ISO is the first time whatever link it hits, that does not download for me. It gets stuck at 0% and it will be stuck there for 10, 15, 20 minutes. What you need to do is basically disconnect the Wi-Fi, and then when it says retrying with a different method, only then go ahead and enable Wi-Fi, and then it will use a different link, so the ISO will download properly. So that's a bit of a hassle. Again, this is beta, and this is not really on the creator of WinPodX because this is upon Microsoft, and they are not providing ISOs, probably blah, 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 something. Doesn't matter. We did get it to work, but this is a beta, and that's what I want you guys to keep in mind. Use it, but save everything. Keep a backup of all your files, literally everything that you do, and you won't be afraid of losing everything. Then you can open up a lot of pods at the same time and it wouldn't crash. And each of them, I think, gets to use their own windows or something. So that's pretty cool. And this is system information. Sometimes it will have a little bit of a problem. There will be a little bit of a graphical glitch, but right now it doesn't seem to have any graphical glitches or anything. Windows snapping is working, and there we go. Right as we said it, we did encounter a graphical glitch, but that's okay. That's part of the jank. We accept it. You have a ton of tabs up over here: apps, settings, tools, terminal info, and license. We have RDP connection protocol. This is more for the advanced users. We can set the username, change the host IP, change the port number, define a scaling percentage, set the Windows DPI from over here, password rotation, and then for the backend, we're using Podman. Windows edition is Windows 11. 2 CPU cores, 4 gigabytes of RAM, idle timeout is 0, maximum sessions is 25, so you can launch 25 apps parallel to one another at the same time. 25 instances of Windows, containerized Windows running together. That is amazing. And then for localization, you have languages, time zones, etc., etc. It auto detected me to Asia/Kolkata. Performance profiles, you can change them, performance, save, off, and manual. So you can edit the files if you want to. I guess if you know, you can edit it. I don't. And you also have reverse file associations, the one I talked about near the beginning of the video. So you have a lot of things over here. Man, this is a miracle that this is working, and it took a really hard time, long time for WinPodX team to make it work. I don't know if this is one guy or if it's one team, but they did a fantastic job. You can even suspend the pod, resume, and have the full desktop experience. You can clean the locks, sync time between Windows and Linux, because Windows uses UTC, Linux uses local time, or is it the other way around? I don't really remember. And you can also debloat your computer. So from inside debloat, you have different presets, normal, full, performance, speed. I think with speed, you basically get rid of everything. So that's pretty good. In custom, you can mix and match. That's it. And then for applying Windows fixes, you can reapply RDP timeout stuff. You can grow the disk. So basically, you can extend the Windows partition that you have to, if you want to install more apps. You can sync with a guest. You can even update Windows. Man, you can even update Windows from inside here. You don't even have to go into Windows. You can update it straight from here. That's amazing. And this is the terminal. It shows you everything that is running. And I did run into so many issues, man. But it was fun. It was fun troubleshooting this for an entire, I guess, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's okay. And then this is the info that gives you the pod status. If everything is running properly, you can check it from here. This is the Linux Mint that I'm running it on. Again, X11 session. That's pretty much standard stuff. I think with that, we might come to the end. And it was pretty good. And I had another thing. By the way, if you wanted to uninstall the entire thing, this is the command. I'm going to provide it to you in the video description. This is the command that will get rid of everything. The default uninstaller, it does not get rid of the container. It keeps some of the files around. This gets rid of everything except for maybe Python and a few other libraries, which you might already need in your everyday Linux usage. So that's not a big headache, and you can delete that as well. It will mention in the uninstall script whatever packages are left and whatever is being installed. So you don't really have to worry about that. So yeah, good. I am so proud of having survived through this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you really stuck around till the end, I do appreciate your time. I do appreciate you liking my videos, leaving me beautiful comments. And I probably don't deserve any of this, but thank you for saying all the beautiful things that you have said to me over the years. And I am really happy I'm able to do these videos, not only for you guys, but also for my satisfaction apart from my day job. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.